Let somebody shout hallelujah. So the talk before me here says overcoming men's challenges and struggles in anger management. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
We'll first of all start by understanding what anger is. Anger is the normal reactions or feelings, so that you. Anger is a normal actions or feelings that someone goes through. So it now depends on how you will be able to manage it. Normally, as a human being, we all go through anger. There's this element of anger in everybody. Somebody might step on your toes and you react. And so managing it is what we want to talk about now. So anger management is a psychotherapy program for anger prevention and control. So anger is frequently as a result of frustrations or feeling. When you are frustrated or you have a bad feelings about something, you show your anger out. For me, I think there's a positive side to anger, because sometimes when you react, people know that, okay, this is the kind of person, this person doesn't take nonsense. You understand? And there's a negative part to it, that when you react, the person might feel upset, the person might feel down, and something else can happen. And also, studies have shown that when you keep anger in your mind for a long time, it can lead to high blood pressure. People don't know that. And also, when you keep anger in your heart for a long time, it might lead to headache and might lead to some even digestive problems. You might not be able to digest food properly because you'll be thinking about what somebody did to you long time ago. So here I'll be talking about some tips that will help us to manage anger. I'm talking about the negative side, not talking about the positive side. Okay, for the positive side, I remember what happened in Nigeria about NSAS issue. People were frustrated, people were upset, but they wanted action. So that was why they came out to protest. I see that as a positive anger, because they're trying to get some results out from the government. So we're talking about the negative side now. So here are some of the tips that we need to follow so that we're able to manage those anger. First thing is that you think before you talk. There are some men that they talk too much. I don't know why. I know it's women that talk, but there are some men that talk too much. When somebody steps on your toes, don't react quickly. First of all, think it could be that this person didn't see. You understand? Or maybe there's an obstacle that led to the action. So we should always learn to think before we talk. I'll be reading through James 1:19-20. It says, "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." If we're slow to speak and slow to react, you'll have seen the reason why the person stepped on your toes, why the person offended you, and you guys can sit down together and talk about it. So that's step number one. Think before you react. Number two says, once you are calm, now you've relaxed. Okay, guy, what's going on? You step on my phone. Say, once you are calm, express your anger and state your concerns and the needs without hurting anybody. Just let the person know. This is, oh my dear, this is the way, you did something last night that I'm not happy with. Talk about it. Oh, the kind of food that you prepare, there's no enough salt in it. How can do we need to watch some YouTube videos online to learn how to make this kind of food? Help each other so that we'll be able to manage each other well. So that's step number two. Step number three says, get some body exercise. Studies have shown that people that exercise always get rid of anger. When you are exercising your body, and thoughts comes through our mind, it goes to our brain, and it processes so fast that people react. You understand? But when you exercise, it's a form of also taxing your brain, and to also help you to manage your anger. Number three says, take a time out to have a quiet time for reflections and meditate in the Word of God. When you are upset, just take a time out. Just take a chill pill. That's the pill. Take that chill pill. Go somewhere, sit down, think about some other things, meditate on the Word of God, and so on and so forth. Step number 5 says, identify possible solutions and remind yourself that anger won't fix anything. As in, anger will not go. I'm talking about the negative side now, I'm not talking about the positive one. So the negative one is that it's not going to fix anything. Just sit down and identify possible solutions, like the example I cited about the food. Sit down. Oh, my dear, the kind of food you cooked yesterday, I don't really enjoy it because there's some lumps in the salmon that you prepared. okay, let's watch videos on how to make sermon. You watch videos together, you help each other to build a family. So the next step says, have a fatherly figure, somebody that no matter what happens, once they go to that person and the person calls you to discuss with you, as in you always respect that. That's the fatherly figure. You have that father head. That's okay. Maybe it could be your counselor, it could be your pastor, it could be your deacon, someone that you respect so much that once, maybe I'm having an issue with my wife now. My wife calls my pastor. He knows that I respect my pastor so much. I trust my pastor. I trust his word. I believe he's someone that cannot lead me astray. So if he calls me and says, Brother Labi, your wife came to, I know they are too wise. They're full of wisdom. They're not going to say directly that your wife came to report me, blah blah. So they have a way of managing. I know pastors are so wise. So they're going to put it and create a scenario that I'm not okay. What I did was, but so be able to balance the two aspects, and I'll be able to get good advice. So that's the identity. Okay, it says that have a father figure that can always discuss with, like a pastor, like your mentor, your counselor, and so on. The last point says, I don't know, but righteousness and anger doesn't mix together. So which means that if you are someone that always gets angry, I'm sorry, I don't know, but I have the feeling that the person cannot make heaven. That's just it. If you are saying, okay, I'm always angry, and righteousness, you come to the church, keep praying, but meanwhile you have some element of anger in you. So the two cannot work together. It's either you kill one, you stay with one, or you stay simple. If you are trying to make heaven, you have to find a way of getting rid of anger. May God bless this word in Jesus' name.